Hey guys, it's Marvin Burwell here, and today we're talking about sugar. More importantly, the question I got was about A1C. A1C levels are a measure of how much your blood cells are becoming a sugar donut, okay? So, when you're checking your A1C levels, your cells usually take in a certain amount of sugar so that you can burn it for energy. Well, when there's too much sugar available, it eventually starts to coat the cells. A1C measure is measuring how much you're basically becoming a sugar donut. Your glucose levels, when you get your finger pricked to check the blood, that's how much sugar is in your bloodstream at that moment of time. So there's a certain amount of blood and a certain amount of sugar in that blood. Glucose is measuring that. Then you have glucose tolerance factor. So it's basically the rate at which you respond to a stimulus. So in the beginning, you put a certain amount of sugar in your body and your body says, oh, we got sugar. Let's send it over there. Let's do this, let's do that. And maybe that whole process takes 2 hours. When the tolerance factor falls out of balance because you're eating too much glucose, the moment it goes into your system, there's an immediate and very strong response, okay? And there's levels in between that. There's a light response, medium response, heavy response. There's different responses people can give based on their tolerance to a thing. And that's what the glucose tolerance factor measures from the doctor, how fast or what's going on when your body responds to receiving glucose. When that response is very high, it's because you have a tendency, just like the other numbers may show, to constantly be taking in too much glucose, okay? You need glucose as energy, but there's a certain limit that the body can accept before it says, there's nowhere to put this and I gotta get rid of it. Now, this is where we talk about the types of sugars that we receive to kind of connect the dots, okay? Normal sugars are things like an apple, fruits, things that come out of the ground or things that come off the tree that are natural in the environment. They have the proper fibers or skin, the proper liquid or water, and the proper minerals and nutrients in them to self-balance, meaning they can go in your body, give your body what it needs, and have the materials in order for your body to process it and push it out of you. You got the skin or the fiber, which helps it come out when you're in the bathroom sitting down. You have the amount of water to help you pee it out when you're going to the bathroom. And then you have the vitamins and nutrients to help build your body up and have materials to do what it needs to do to rebuild things that need to be rebuilt, okay? Concentrated, this is when we remove the water portion. Something sweet that has the water removed will become sweeter. Something that is salty that has the water removed will become saltier. So you're concentrating the flavor and that taste gets stronger because you're removing the water. This also means your body has to work harder to get rid of it because since the water's not there, your body's either going to pull it out of your tissues and start to dehydrate you, or you're going to have to chase it with water so that your body has proper water in order to take the concentrated thing that's more crystallized and turn it into a liquid to help push it out. This is why people with high numbers tend to have to go to the bathroom a lot more, okay? Then you have processed. This is concentrated is also a part of processing because when you dehydrate, you're changing the normal state of it, which is a type of process. But when we say process, we're talking turning things into pasta, white sugar, processed flours and things like that. Things where it's like, we're gonna take this, we're gonna dry it out, we're gonna bleach it, package it, heat it, process it, grind it up, powder it, all kinds of stuff. But the further you get from the normal state, the more work the body has to do to get rid of it, which is why processed and refined carbohydrates, which is what a sugar or a plant is actually made up of, they're in such a way that the body is going to have more difficulty getting through the process of breaking it down and getting it out of your body, okay? This is why they say when you have high numbers, you want to get rid of the processed and refined stuff like breads and pastas and cakes and things like that. Your body takes a long time to deal with that, which means the sugars will sit in your system longer, spiking your numbers. And when the numbers spike too high, your body's, the pressure or stress on your body to have to deal with it, the tolerance that has to come with that, weakens your body over time. Because your body's supposed to have small phases it goes through. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. Ramp up the blood pressure, send it through the bloodstream, get it to the liver and the kidneys and stuff to process that stuff and get it out of there. Well, the more you put in versus what's coming out, the only way the body can meet the demand is to raise the tolerance factor and things like your blood pressure and all that to meet the demand. Okay, blood pressure goes up this much if you added in maybe 2 tablespoons too much. But then you add a gallon worth of glucose more. So now the blood pressure must go up this much. You see what I mean? So the more you put in versus what's coming out, the higher the response gets. There's a certain thing called threshold of response. So when you hit the threshold of your body's ability to respond, now you're running the dangers of literally killing yourself. And that's what doctors are worried about. That's why they have danger zone numbers for things. It's saying, look, we understand that a body can survive when it's working against something up to this point. But normally when the numbers get beyond this point, people die from it because that response is too high. Okay? Diet and exercise help. If this whole thing is a glucose issue, then we want to get more bitter foods in. We get more bitter foods in, we don't have any sugars to spike the sugar numbers. Ketogenic diet was based on this. When your pancreas becomes taxed and it has an issue processing sugar, your body will move over to fat next. Fat doesn't spike sugar, but you can't process fat as fast to get energy. So you're not supposed to have a consistent lifestyle on fat. You do it for a certain period of time to help give your body a break to balance out the glucose numbers. And then you compound it with exercise because glucose is energy. When you exercise, you burn more energy, which is why you have to do effective exercise. It's not just as simple as walking or jogging on a treadmill. You have to gain muscle. Losing weight is not gaining muscle. You can be 100 pounds and 50% body fat, or 200 pounds and 50% of that be body fat. Doesn't matter. When you gain muscle, the fat turns to muscle. And when the fat turns to muscle, muscle needs more calories to maintain itself. So your body's going to be able to burn up more of the calories you're eating to maintain the muscle and not store it in fat. So this is why you get healthier. So the diet and the exercise help bring these numbers down because it's helping you get through these a lot faster because the energy is needed. So your body's going to find a way to process the excess glucose, the excess sugars and things that are inside of your body. So that's connecting all the dots, guys. That's pretty much sugars going down in a nutshell. What A1C is, glucose tolerance factor, what the different types of sugars are, and why you need proper diet and exercise to normalize it so you don't take your body above a certain threshold to the point where you run the risk of destroying your own body, okay? So get to work on correcting those things if you need to. That is sugar, ladies and gentlemen. See you on the next one.